are still at 2000trees and now joined by a band I saw support Alkaline Trio last year. It's Lowlives.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Steve.
I'm Jackson.
And we are Lowlives. Half of Lowlives.
The American half.
American half. Would that be the better half or the worse half? It's up to you to decide.
I think it depends what continent you're on.
It depends the context of the situation. If you're talking about driving around in England, the worst half. If you're talking about eating a good chicken tikka masala, the best half.
The best half, yeah.
That's true. We do that. Yeah, like I said, how the hell are you guys? Like I always try and make a big deal saying, oh, you should go see the sports, and then like Alkaline Trio playing. They're one of my favourite bands in the world, and Lowlives were like, okay, we'll make sure we get down early, and then like blown away by your performance. Like,
oh, that's incredible! Thanks so much.
It was just awesome. I was like, okay, this is why I keep saying it. I was like, I'm glad I'm doing what I say. Instead of just saying it and showing up and everything. But you should show up for the sports. But 100%. Sure. It was Kentish Town last year.
Oh yeah.
That was a great show.
It was. I mean, how was it supporting Alkaline Trio? Because they are like legends.
They are legends. I grew up listening to Alkaline Trio, and it's kind of one of those things where you always dream of getting to support bands that you love, especially when you're a young musician before you've really toured. I think that there's certain bands like Alkaline Trio and The Used where we've done those tours, and I have to question if I'm imagining it or if I'm actually there in person, getting to watch songs that I grew up with, Private Eye specifically, get to hear it, see it, and then get to know those guys. And they were just wonderful people. They were super respectful. I mean, I know that's funny and weird to say, but we don't ever assume that anyone knows who we are when we get to a place. And so day one, Dan from Alkaline Trio was like, Steve, hey, what's up? I'm like, yeah, Dan, what's up, man? But we don't ever assume whenever we show up somewhere that anyone's going to know who we are. And it's part of it's being humble, but part of it is having the heartbreak of bands. We've all been in a ton of bands. Bands come and they go, and some bands are special and get to hang out for a while, and then some bands, unfortunately, were just really great in the garage. So when we show up to places, we keep that mentality.
And Adam Willard is like one of my favorite drummers ever. So getting to, just hang out with him every day. And then he tour pranked us. I was like, this can't be real. It can't be real live right now.
You're accepted that, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh man, we're in.
And obviously Skiba's a legend as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
I don't even need to say that. I don't know. You can strike that if you need to. It's obviously.
Yeah, but I instantly fell in love with Loser. Like, it's just one of the best songs I discovered last year. It's just anthemic. It's just that sort of perfect rock, big song. I love the energy. It's a great track.
Thank you.
How long ago was that one? How long has that one been in the
I mean, I can remember when we first jammed it for the very first time.
Yeah.
We've had kind of an interesting few years for us because we were actually on tour in Europe as the pandemic was happening in 2020. We didn't know what was going on. We were talking to our agent at the time. Should we just cut loose and go home? No. Well, we landed right as soon as we landed. Our phones connected to U.S. service, and we're like, cool, day after, or literally tomorrow, all international flight is done. So during that time, we started working on what is our album, Freaking Out. And so it's been a few years. And then, of course, with record cycles and record labels and contracts and all that kind of stuff, we sat on the album for a little bit longer than what we initially would have thought we would. So it's kind of like sitting on a huge secret. And now the secret's out, and it's done really well. And
man, I remember whenever they sent us that demo of the song, man, it was, because usually what'll happen in our writing process is like Luke and Lee will work on the songs, they'll send them to us, and then we'll, add or, put in input. And I remember whenever those demos came in, I was just like, yes, this is it. This is the one. I know it. I remember texting the guys just being like, dude, this song is so good, man. I'm so stoked. So yeah, I mean, we love playing that one.
It's been fun too because a lot of friends, when we're excited, we'll pull our close friends into it and be like, hey, listen to this song that we've got. And so many friends, including our friend Josh, who's out on tour with us, helping us, he heard that song one time and was like, that song is stuck in my head and I've only heard it once.
It's
so the earworm.
That's it's a good one. We were actually in Vegas when they closed International.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we were
no way.
As Trump was doing international airspace, we're like, let's go. That was a fun time.
Yeah, for real.
Obviously, you kind of alluded to this already. But you were all in like different bands beforehand. So like, how did Lowlives? How did you all kind of get together? Was it a case of you just all knew each other through the other band? You're like,
yeah.
I've got
I mean,
now. Like,
it's been an interesting story on that. I'll let Steve start because he joined the band before I did.
So, we immediately got branded as a supergroup, and it's something that I've personally tried to push back on because that implies like we meant to do that, whereas like we actually didn't. I knew Luke for a long time before, and I've been in a ton of bands, he's been in a ton of bands, and so we always had each other's back. Where it's funny, I remember this, I tried to put Luke into drumming for Ministry. Someone was like, oh, and I was like, do you want to play drums for Ministry? He's like, yeah, not my vibe. But he actually came and filled in on drums for my old shoegaze band in LA. So we always had each other's backs, and then him and Lee connected organically. Just Brits in LA it was a group of English people that would go to the pub together in Los Angeles, and so they connected, and then they jammed a couple times, wrote some songs, and then he was like, oh, I got the guy in mind, and so that's kind of, it was very not like, hey, you've been in big bands and you've been in big bands and you've been in big bands, let's all form a supergroup. It was like we all have punk rock ethos, we are doing it the way that we want to do it. Let's see if this works. And then we found Jackson.
And spoiler alert, I have not been in a big band. Yeah, that's right. No, I moved to California from Texas, and I had my band, and we were recording with Bo Burchell from Seosin, and we were recording an album. And I remember one day Bo was just like, hey, dude, check out this song, this other band I'm recording right now, they're called Lowlives, and he put on Burn Forever, and I was like, oh man, that track's rad, dude. And didn't realize it at the time, but apparently he was doing some matchmaking behind the scenes. And Lee hit me up on Instagram. We started talking about gear and vintage guitars and amps and stuff. And eventually he was like, "Hey, dude, do you want to come like jam with us sometime?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So went and hung out with them, jammed for a day or two, and they were like, "Dude, you want to be in the band?" And I was like, "Yeah."
I think after 2 songs, right?
Well, as they say it, I remember being pretty nervous about it, but
this is going to be quite an interesting question, I think, because I've been asking every band the same question this weekend, which is, what is your favourite small venue in the UK? So it might just be for you, what is your favourite venue you've played in the UK?
Oh,
I mean,
we played so many different places, like I mean, obviously playing somewhere like an O2 Academy is awesome just because it's such a huge venue. But like, for instance, not last night, but the night before, we played at this place, the Bear Cave in Bournemouth, and yeah, right? I know, it was so punk rock and awesome, and I was just like, that's the kind of, like, I grew up playing places like that, like the tiny places, the places that are just full of people that are just sweating and screaming. And so for me, that's kind of more of the vibe that I usually lean towards, even though playing huge places, I love doing it, it's awesome, it's I never thought I'd be doing it, but that's definitely where I think music thrives, is in those small spaces where you really connect, for me anyway.
I mean, Nottingham Rock City, of course. I still have a bruise on my head from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I smashed my head off the beam, and I've still got a goose egg right now.
And now your DNA is there.
Yes, yeah.
You left yourself in Rock City.
That's right.
But places like Think Tank. I mean, honestly, I know the supergroup term, whatever, but we're all punk rockers at heart, and so we connect with the smaller independent venues. We love playing the large venues as well. It's a different it's a different skill, right? Like playing to a few thousand versus 50, you have to adjust yourself, and some of them are more you have to perform for the person that can see you in the back of the crowd versus a venue where it's like no one can see anything outside of the front row. So you're performing to the front crowd. I mean, I think that's an easier place for us to tap into our lizard brain and say, oh, we're punk rock, and so of course the front row is going to get the best show. But for us playing to larger stages, that's something that it takes a minute. It's not necessarily what we came up. I mean, some bands I guess come out and fill arenas day one, but
no shade, that's great for them.
No, of course. Anyone that's doing that, I mean, you're really taking people away from their normal life and taking them into whatever you've built for them. But for the majority of us, all of us, playing those smaller punk rock independent venues, it's very close and dear to our hearts, and
it's where we grew up.
We enjoy the larger stages, of course. That's fun in its own way, but And
I love the shout out to Bear Cave, because it's a great place.
It's so good,
And another question I'm asking everyone, which is, what is your current musical session like? Maybe an album or an artist that you just can't take it from me?
Ooh, man. Right now, I've been listening to a lot of the band My Ticket Home. They've been around for a long time, but they just recently got back together. They started putting new music out, and so I love them. Glassjaw, always on my playlist. Thrice, I'm a punk, post-hardcore, emo guy, so it's all that kind of stuff, But I'd say those are definitely mine right now.
To be completely honest, I've been doing a lot of Kendrick Lamar after the Super Bowl performance. I know it's like the whitest thing an American can say, but I just, his Super Bowl performance was so punk. It's probably the punkest thing I've ever seen. And so I've been working backwards. But outside of that, I bump a lot of, I don't want to call it world music, but Hai Lung is my favorite artist at this moment. And then old reggae, I don't know. I'm all over the place. I think
we all are, man.
For me, if it's got more purpose to it, which obviously Kendrick Lamar has a ton of purpose to it, and a band like Hai Lung has a lot of purpose to it, and 70s political reggae has a lot of purpose to it. So I gravitate towards the purpose, not necessarily the genre.
I mean, to Pimp a Butterfly is just
it's insane.
A great album. It's a great album.
I mean,
absolutely.
all of it. Money Trees, all day.
Well, thank you very much. I know we've got to wrap this up, but best of luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy Trees. It's just, I love this place so much.
Yeah.
And look forward to seeing you guys again.
I can't wait. The community of people that come to these sort of things are very near and dear to our hearts, and so in a way, it's I'm just excited to hang with some friends that we've had that are here, and make new friends. And any day that we get to do this is really special for us.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
I fucking love that. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, Jackson. Of course. Absolutely legendary.
Thanks so much.
Cheers. Thank you.